Hey friends, so we're actually getting 2 uploads somewhat close together. I know, I didn't know I could do that. Anyways, today we are going to be dusting some of my figures. These are the ones that need to be dusted really egregiously. And just chatting, just chatting. A lot of life has been happening lately. Alright, so ideally I'd have better dusting stuff, but what I got is these really bad paper towels and a wash rag. And we're just gonna get started, I guess. So recently, I took my cat to the vet, and because I noticed she was batting at her mouth, right? So I took her to the vet, got her looked at, and turns out she had a major dental disease, a gum disease that had to be treated. So she ended up needing surgery, and oh my gosh, that surgery wrecked me. Not financially, emotionally. My cat's 13 and had to go under anesthesia. I was so scared. But that was 3 days ago. She's recovering nicely. She's doing good. She is a good little kitty. She is happy and healthy. A lot more energetic than she was before the surgery. I genuinely think that helped out with that too. I kind of feel guilty because I didn't realize that she was probably sick for a while. Because the damage was bad. And I feel so bad because I didn't realize. I feel like I could have taken better care of her and I just didn't. But she's treated now. She's healthier now. She's happier now. I kind of dismissed all of that as just her getting old. You know? I kind of thought, she's just kind of old. That's why she's slowing down. That's why she's not playing as much. No, she was sick. She was sick and I didn't notice. Oh my god. He just fell apart. Okay. Okay. Now I gotta put this back together. But she's treated now, she's healthier now, she's happier now. The orange chaos continues. But those 11 hours I didn't have her, I had to drop her off in, it's more like 10. Those 10 hours I didn't have her were nerve-wracking. Because I didn't know. Her surgery only took 2 hours, but I had to drop her off in the morning. That way she was there when the vet was ready for her. Other critters needed their surgery that day too. Wow, this neck joint's really loose. This entire figure's kind of loose. I got this firsthand. Good Smile Shop. New. Never used. I was the first owner of this. I got it as a pre-order. But wow, this figure is flimsy. Now let me get a little closer. Right? It's gonna have his head up like that, nice and cool? No. Look at that. That's no effort whatsoever to take that apart. Yikes. Yikes. This figure is just so flimsy. I don't have many dendrites, but I don't think they're supposed to do that. Yeah, look at that. It's so loose. Okay, note to self, just let this one collect dust. So if I handle it more, it's gonna fall apart. Whatever. That's what us forgetting. He's back on his stand. He's not actively falling apart. Dusted on this side, undusted on this side. That one video that I mentioned in my community section that I completely botched, it was a dusting video. I dusted a bunch of them a while ago. Well, recently comparative, but it was a while ago. However, oddly enough, it's the same channel I have in the background was playing the entire time. I spent so long editing the audio, and it just did not work out. This time I actually remembered to mute it. Oddly enough, just like then, I am congested, my nose is stuffy. If you watched my previous video going through some of my clothing, I mentioned that I've been having a really hard time getting into a primary care provider. Aww. See, this Nendoroid's probably the best one that I have. Not just character, but this one actually stays together. My Ed Elric Nendoroid kind of falls apart sometimes. You just watched how flimsy my Senku Nendoroid is. But Alan Walker has not done me wrong, so I am quite happy. As I was saying about going to a doctor, I have an appointment scheduled for the end of April, and I am so excited for that. I really hope that I can get my health back together, and I can get clearance from a doctor to go back to work. Yeah, I've been out of work since December because I ended up getting really sick, and a bunch of doctors that I was seeing at the time, emergency room doctors, urgent care doctors, because that's all I could get. Multiple medical professionals were all like, "Hey, yeah, you can't stay at this job in this condition." And I was like, "Well, you're the expert here, not me." So I quit. And fortunately, my husband makes enough to cover both of us, but just barely, which means we don't have any savings anymore. We don't have any leisure spending anymore. We're like barely surviving. And I don't really want to live like that anymore. I would rather be able to thrive, put aside money, be able to save up. I have goals and stuff that I want to be able to accomplish, but to get there, you need money. So I'm really determined to be able to get a job. But, I have a bunch of loved ones who care a lot. Some of them are even helping us cover bills until I get to see a doctor. And they're not really comfortable with me going back to work until I am regularly seeing a doctor. Because that was a pretty major health scare. I did have an appointment scheduled that I ranted about. I ranted about my clothing video. I had an appointment scheduled, but they canceled last minute. 2 hours before the appointment, they called me canceling. Then I called multiple times in hopes of rescheduling. Nothing. I either went to voicemail or the call just never went through. So that was infuriating. I decided, you know what? I'm already close enough to my April appointment. I'm not even going to bother anymore. I just really wish I could have gotten in to see somebody. Because, had they not canceled, I'd probably be in a job right now. Or at least better luck looking for one, since I'd have a better idea of what I could physically do. But no. I'm just frustrated. And then with my cat's veterinary emergency, my medical emergency, that wiped out our savings. That wiped out all of our savings. And these goals I want to work towards is this summer, I'm learning how to drive finally. If you watch my TikTok, you would see that I mentioned I've been scared of driving for so long, but living in a suburban hellscape, it's a necessary evil. And my husband has no intentions of ever moving to somewhere with better public transit. That would involve having to go to a city. He has no interest in going to a city. Which means I have no choice but to drive. So this summer, I'm learning. And then I would love to be able to afford to get a car. Because, he works pretty much all day. What's the point of me being able to drive if the only time I'll ever have the car is when he's already here, right? So I would love to learn how to drive, have my own vehicle. That way I can, do grocery shopping so he doesn't have to worry about it after being at work all day. Or I don't have to rely on somebody else to make sure my cat gets to her vet appointments. I don't mind seeing the people. I don't mind spending time with them. I don't mind their moral support. But I do mind feeling like I'm leeching off of them. I want that sense of independence back. And getting a job again. Being able to work again. Will get me one step closer to being able to drive. And then being able to drive gets me closer to having a car, which then gives me that independence that I'm looking for. But the hard part's getting in with a doctor. I think it's bad for me. My father-in-law can't get a primary care appointment until December. It's not even April yet. It is hard out here. I'm just tired. And again, these people don't seem to mind helping me. Some of them even seem to enjoy my company. And I enjoy their company. I'd rather their company on a more voluntary basis, I don't want to feel dependent on them. I want people to be able to depend on me. I don't want my poor husband at work all day. And then he comes home to nothing on the table because, oh no, we ran out of groceries from last week and I had nothing to make for him. I'm not gonna ask one of my friends, hey, can you take me grocery shopping? I feel like a total jerk. My mother-in-law does not mind. She's usually in the area anyways. But still, I feel like I'm using people, and I don't like that. My husband tries to assure me and comfort me about it. But I just want that sense of independence again. And really, what's the point of being able to drive if I have nothing to drive, right? I could probably take him into work and have the car at home. That way I can run the errands and stuff, but it's his car, not mine. My husband does not like when I have that mindset. He firmly believes that everything is both of ours. But that's his car, not mine. Kind of you can't see it, but right over there, that's his computer, not mine. I won't touch it. Oh my god. It does that, I guess. That is the bottom part of yours shoe that just came off when I was trying to remove her from her base so I could dust it. Okay. Kind of looks like it was glued in there. You see that? Can you see that? Fascinating. I'm gonna go about putting that back. Yeah. Pretty snug fit. Yeah, can't even tell it came out. Perfect. But yeah, he prefers the what's mine is yours type mindset. And I don't. I I do, but it feels weird and uncomfortable. Also, one of my close friends just got his driver's license. Well, his provisional license. But it still counts. And I was like, you know what? It's my turn too. I'm almost 25 and I still can't drive. That is kind of embarrassing. Well, all those figures are dusted. Those are the ones I wanted to get to. We're at 17 minutes. I don't think I have much editing and stuff to cut out from this video, but we'll continue chatting in the next video. My cat went to the vet. She had surgery done. My savings are drained. I'm kind of sad. I really want to be able to get a job again, but I can't work because I need to be able to see a doctor. But no doctor can see me until the end of April. I had an appointment scheduled sooner, but it got canceled last minute. I want to be able to see a doctor so then I could get a job, so then I could actually save up, so then I could actually learn how to drive, so then I could actually afford a vehicle. But first I need to be able to see that doctor, but doctors aren't being able to see me. Lots of people in my life are also unable to see a doctor because they're booked all the way out into the next year. It's March. I'm tired. I'll catch you guys later. Enjoy. Ooh, would you look at that? Ooh, other videos I've posted recently, or not so recently. Ooh, what are those? Ah, 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 ah. Actually, is this gonna be mirrored? Or is it actually gonna be over here? I don't know where they're gonna be. I think they're over here, though. Ah, ah.